Welcome back to Passionately Catholic. I am Anthony Digmann, and it is so great to join you again and do another analysis on a piece of sacred art. So this particular piece, this is another one, as I've shared with you a variety of these videos so far, pieces that I wanted to put in my room, pieces of artwork. A lot of times I'm doing, some sacred art stuff here, but I really like this image, and I did a lot of looking around because I wanted to have these printed as 2 foot by 3 foot posters to put up in my room and framed many of these. I was always looking through things that were in the public domain, things that didn't require any kind of copyright and that I could legally print off in a poster size that were quite beautiful. And this is another one of the images that really, really struck me. It appears to be, it could be evening, but perhaps it's dawn. Like if you know St. Peter's Basilica and this bridge and the Tiber River, the angle that we're looking at, if you know, is this dawn or is this dusk? I would love to know. Okay, if maybe you even live in Rome, you can tell us this, or you're very familiar with Rome. Please let us know. Comment down below and let us know whether this is dawn or dusk, because I just can't quite tell. My guess here is that I just really don't know, because you have the lights on around, I almost want to say it's probably dawn because the lights would be on, and then as the sun comes up, the lights would automatically be turned off. You have the lights on the bridge, the lights on the wall of the retaining wall for the river on the right-hand side. You have the street lights, you have the lights illuminating St. Peter's Basilica and the domes, especially the main dome, Michelangelo's dome at St. Peter's Basilica. So that's my guess, is that it's dawn, but I'd be really interested to know exactly what it is. So why this image? Okay, so I find it aesthetically appealing for a number of reasons. First of all, the foreground. As a professional videographer, this is something that I really appreciate, is the depth of field in this particular image, right? This photograph is that you have these maple leaves from this tree, and not just on the left-hand side, but that it also wraps around to the right-hand side and, even slightly obscures parts of the top of St. Peter's Basilica, but it still gives you a really good look at all this stuff. It's not blocking too much, but it really provides a nice sense of depth, having that so close that you don't tend to find in a lot of images like this, looking at, say, St. Peter's. I scrolled through a lot of images before stumbling upon this one, and I was very excited that this was available in the public domain. So yeah, and I really like the lights, in some of the darker areas. It is illuminated because there are street lights, there's the lights on the bridge, brings out a brightness. But, other than the depth of field, one of the things that my eye first goes to is the sun, whether it be setting sun, rising sun, whatever, the light that is coming into the image and coming toward us and coming through or, right next to St. Peter's Basilica. And if we could see that as a sign of representation of the church, of the Catholic Church, and the fullness of grace and truth as the church sees itself to be, the fullness of grace and truth that comes pouring into the world, that the light being Jesus Christ and this grace and this truth is pouring forth from the church through the church's ministers, through the sacraments, through especially the Eucharist, through the lives of the saints, this illumination upon the entire world. So I really appreciate that particular piece as well. Another thing that I really like about this image is that we are, the water is quite beautiful, of course, and you get the reflections off the water. But I like that we're actually on the opposite side of the Tiber River here that flows through Rome. So for me, that almost gives and I've only been to Rome once too, by the way. I'd love to go back. But it gives me this sense of like, we really are on the opposite side of the river here, and we're looking across, and it almost has like a heavenly feel, a heavenly aura to it, that St. Peter's Basilica it's like a goal from where we are. It is a goal. It is like heaven. It is that the fullness of grace and truth, and it's beckoning to us, like it does. Since we are intellectual beings, the truth, intellectual truth beckons to us, right? Because we have a heart, because we are affective beings, and I don't mean like a beating heart, I mean an emotional heart. Because we are affective beings, love is radically appealing to us, and again, that is here. The beauty of this is also attractive to us. There's an appreciation in the human person for goodness and for beauty, and we're certainly getting this here as well, and everything, the natural beauty of the scene, but also our artistic and architectural beauty of, say, St. Peter's Basilica and everything that's going on there that represents, the church. Okay, so St. Peter's Basilica in Rome is epic piece. It's symbolic of the church. Even though it's not, as one of the 4 major basilicas in Rome, it is not the cathedral for the Diocese of Rome. That would be St. John Lateran, where the cathedral, the cathedra, the seat of the Pope is actually kept in his position as the Archbishop of the Diocese of Rome, Archdiocese of Rome, which also is his position as head of the church, as the Papa, as the Pope being just that nickname for Papa. But here we are on the opposite side of the Tiber, being beckoned by the beauty and the goodness and the illumination that is still coming to us on the opposite side, but beckoning us to come to even more on the opposite side, right? The illumination that's happening of St. Peter's Basilica and everything over on that side. And really, in a sense, you could say, this would be an invitation for, say, Catholics to go deeper into their faith, okay? To go get closer to the fullness of grace and truth in their prayer life, in our prayer life, in our devotionals, in our understanding of theology and the truths that God has revealed to us and wants us to understand better and to live better, right? So that's one sense. In another sense, it could be for all those who are non-Catholic. This is an invitation from the opposite side of the Tiber River to come across the Tiber, which is a bit of an image sometimes for Protestant Christians who come across to the Catholic side would be to like swim the Tiber, to cross over the river to the Vatican side and to become Catholic. But even in another sense, I find this as an invitation of life, right? Like in this world that we are like on the earth side, if you will, and that is like a heavenly side, and to get over to that opposite side, to cross that bridge is something that we're going to have to do at some point in our life, but it doesn't have to wait. Like we can begin to cross over to heaven and to grow in virtue and holiness in our life right now. And I really like the bridge right in this image. Like we're invited to take that journey, to cross that bridge. Like the path is there. The path is visible. The path is available. And maybe crossing the waters ourselves, swimming across would be very, very dangerous. But Jesus Christ and his church have provided this way, that this bridge is available for us to come to the fullness of grace and truth on the other side. So those are just a few of the things that I got out of this particular image. And I find it very aesthetically pleasing. Differences in color. Green is my favorite color. The illumination of the yellows. You've got some of the blues, light, a little bit of blues, not a lot. It's not strong in the water. I just really appreciate it as a warm and welcoming, and still elements of cool and calming pieces here with the water and the leaves all coming together. I find it to be a really beautiful image. So, but what did you get from this image? Because I'm sure I missed plenty of things in here. Be sure to comment below and let us know. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Click that bell icon too, so that you get notifications every time we post a new video, so that you won't miss any other sacred art analysis that we do, and that you can chime in and be part of the analysis that we do of sacred art as well. Thanks as always to all of our patrons who make everything that we do at Passionately Catholic possible. I look forward to doing some more of these with you. Again, I have several more images that I have lined up that I want to walk through with you. So again, be sure to subscribe and be a part of what we're doing here. And if these are useful, share them with somebody else in your life that they could benefit as well. And I will see you again in the next episode.